Have you ever wondered what lies beyond the surface of solitude? Living alone as an elder is a journey that many approach with apprehension, fearing isolation or irrelevance. But what if I told you that this phase of life is not a descent into loneliness, but an ascent into self-discovery? Zen and Buddhist teachings reveal that solitude is not a void to be avoided, but a sanctuary brimming with untapped potential. In this video, we'll unravel the hidden beauty of living alone as an elder, exploring profound lessons through heartfelt stories, insightful reflections, and transformative philosophies. Imagine Mrs. Thompson, a retired teacher, who found a profound sense of peace in the quiet mornings of her solitude, or Mr. Yamada, who uncovered inner strength in the soil of his flourishing garden. Their stories, and many others, hold keys to reshaping how we view aging alone. Stay with us as we guide you through this transformative path, illuminating how silence, resilience, and purpose can turn solitude into the most enlightening chapter of your life. Whether you're an elder seeking guidance or someone wanting to support a loved one, this journey promises revelations that resonate deeply. Let's embark together on this exploration of Zen wisdom and the transformative power of solitude. Part 1. Embracing the quiet. In the stillness of solitude, a new dimension of life emerges, a place where the chaos of the outside world quiets and the whispers of the inner self grow louder. Zen philosophy sees this stillness not as an absence, but as the purest language of the soul. It offers a unique invitation to stand before the openness of existence and witness the vastness within. At first, this quiet can feel like an unsettling void, particularly for those accustomed to the lively symphony of family and community. The transition can be likened to stepping into a vast, echoing canyon, its enormity overwhelming. Yet, as Zen wisdom suggests, it is in this very space that life's profound truths reveal themselves. The Buddha's teachings remind us, within each of us lies a sanctuary, always available, where peace and clarity reside. Take Mrs. Thompson, for example, a retired school teacher who vividly recalls her initial struggle with the silence of living alone. Each morning, she would wake to the stillness of her home, longing for the vibrant energy of her family. The days felt heavy, each hour stretching into the next. Yet as the weeks passed, her perspective began to shift. She started to notice the delicate patterns of sunlight dancing on her walls, the subtle symphony of bird songs outside her window, and the rhythmic rise and fall of her own breath. Gradually, the silence that once felt oppressive became her companion, her teacher. One morning, as Mrs. Thompson brewed her tea, she realized this act had transformed into a sacred ritual. The steam rising from her cup, the warmth in her hands, and the quiet presence of the moment became a meditation. She discovered that in this stillness, she was not alone but deeply connected to herself, to nature, and to the essence of life itself. Silence, as Zen wisdom teaches, is not an emptiness to be feared, but a fullness waiting to be embraced. It is a mirror reflecting our truest essence. Each sound, from the rustle of leaves to the gentle hum of the wind, becomes a reminder of life's inherent beauty. By leaning into the quiet, we uncover the profound richness of simply being. This state of being invites us to reflect deeply. Mrs. Thompson began to see her solitude not as a burden, but as a profound opportunity. She found herself journaling, capturing her thoughts, her dreams, and the lessons she'd learned over the years. These moments of reflection allowed her to release regrets and embrace gratitude for the life she had lived. The quiet became a space of healing and growth, offering her clarity and renewed purpose. Zen teaches that silence is where we meet ourselves. It is the place where distractions fall away, revealing the truths that often lie hidden beneath the surface. Mrs. Thompson discovered that the moments of discomfort she initially felt were actually her mind adjusting to this new rhythm of life, a rhythm that encouraged her to slow down and truly listen. Living alone does not mean isolating oneself from the world. Rather, it is an opportunity to peel back the layers of noise and distraction that often cloud our vision. It is about rediscovering the simple joys, the warmth of sunlight on our skin, the sound of our breath, the beauty of the present moment. Mrs. Thompson's journey reminds us that the path to inner peace is not found in escaping the silence, but in embracing it wholeheartedly. In doing so, we reconnect with the sanctuary that has always been within us, patiently waiting to be rediscovered. By embracing solitude, elders can tap into a wellspring of wisdom and creativity. Silence nurtures the soul, allowing thoughts to blossom and insights to flourish. For Mrs. Thompson, this journey not only deepened her connection with herself, but also inspired her to reconnect with the world in new ways. She began volunteering at a local library, sharing her love of books and knowledge with others. Her days, once filled with emptiness, became meaningful and fulfilling. Zen wisdom reminds us that quietness is not the absence of life, but the essence of it. It is where we find our roots and where we discover the strength to grow. For those who are willing to embrace it, silence becomes a teacher, a healer, and a guide offering profound lessons that resonate deeply within the heart. Part 2. Discovering inner strength. Living alone presents a profound opportunity to rediscover the strength within. Buddhist teachings emphasize self-reliance as a cornerstone of enlightenment. Each day, tasks that once seemed mundane become meaningful acts of care and respect for oneself. Mr. Yamada, a widower, found solace in tending to his garden. With each weed he removed and each seed he planted, he saw reflections of his own inner work, clearing emotional clutter and nurturing his spirit. His flourishing garden became a testament to his resilience and an affirmation of his capacity to thrive independently. What makes this journey profound is the transformation of everyday routines into meditative practices. Each morning, Mr. Yamada begins his day by kneeling in the soil, his hands touching the earth, feeling its texture and energy. The act of planting seeds becomes symbolic an act of hope and renewal. As these seeds grow, so does his inner peace, each sprout reflecting the resilience of life itself. In solitude, the simplicity of daily routines transforms into a quiet celebration of self-sufficiency. Preparing a meal is no longer just about nourishment, but about honoring the self. The act of chopping vegetables becomes rhythmic, almost therapeutic, as the mind quiets and focuses on the present. Tidying a space, once a chore, turns into an opportunity to create a sanctuary, a reflection of inner harmony. Taking a walk evolves into a moment of connection, not only with nature, but also with oneself, as each step becomes a meditation on resilience and purpose. The strength Mr. Yamada uncovered was not merely physical, but deeply emotional and spiritual. As he watered his garden, he often reflected on his late wife and the shared memories they had built. This act of tending to life became a tribute to the love and legacy they had created together. It reminded him that resilience is not about forgetting or moving on, but about carrying the essence of those we love forward with grace and gratitude. Strength, as Buddhist teachings reveal, is not about how much we can do, but about how deeply we engage with what we do. In solitude, this strength is magnified as we learn to rely on ourselves not out of necessity, but out of reverence. Solitude teaches us that we are more capable than we often give ourselves credit for. It reveals the quiet power within a power not born of grandeur, but of gentle persistence. Through these practices, we come to realize that strength is not diminished by solitude. Rather, it is magnified by our willingness to embrace it. Mr. Yamada's flourishing garden, his peaceful home, and his renewed sense of purpose are living testaments to the profound growth that solitude can inspire. For him and for all of us, discovering inner strength is not a destination, but a journey, one that unfolds beautifully when approached with intention and grace. This journey also extends beyond the physical realm. Mr. Yamada began practicing mindfulness meditation, sitting in his garden during sunrise. With each breath, he felt a sense of grounding and connection to the earth. His practice of self-reflection deepened, revealing hidden layers of resilience and clarity within. He realized that his solitude was not a void, but a space brimming with potential for growth and transformation. The lessons from his garden became metaphors for life. Weeds represented fears and doubts that needed to be cleared, while flowers symbolized moments of joy and beauty cultivated through effort and care. In solitude, Mr. Yamada discovered that he was not alone, but deeply connected to the cycles of life and the rhythm of nature. His story reminds us all that within solitude lies the potential to uncover profound inner strength and create a life that is both meaningful and fulfilling. Part 3. The beauty of minimalism. Living alone often leads to a natural inclination toward minimalism. With fewer distractions and responsibilities, elders have the chance to simplify their lives, aligning with the Zen principle that less is more. Minimalism is not about deprivation, but about intentionally choosing what brings joy and utility. Mrs. Patel, after moving into a smaller home, decided to keep only a few treasured belongings, her vibrant sari collection, and a handful of cherished photographs. She described feeling as though a weight had been lifted, her space becoming a sanctuary of clarity and peace. Each item in her home became a mindful choice, reflecting her values and priorities. Minimalism, as Zen philosophy suggests, is a practice of mindfulness. It is about learning to detach from material possessions and the weight they often carry. By focusing on what truly matters, one begins to cultivate a sense of lightness and freedom. Mrs. Patel's experience highlights the transformative power of simplifying one's environment. Her colorful saris, each with a story, became more vibrant in their meaning, unburdened by the distractions of unnecessary clutter. Minimalism is also a way to honor the present moment. Every item kept serves a purpose, whether it's to provide utility or to spark joy. This intentional living creates a harmonious space, one that reflects inner clarity and peace. For Mrs. Patel, her minimalist lifestyle was not just about reducing belongings, it became a spiritual practice. Her home turned into a sanctuary where every corner radiated serenity and purpose. Zen teaches that by letting go of excess, we open ourselves to the abundance of life. Minimalism becomes more than a physical decluttering. It becomes a path to emotional and spiritual liberation. With fewer possessions, there is less to worry about, clean, or maintain. This simplicity allows for more time to focus on what truly matters. Moments of connection, mindfulness, and self-reflection. For Mrs. Patel, minimalism was also about rediscovering the treasures hidden in simplicity. Her vibrant saris became more than just garments. They became symbols of her cultural heritage and personal history. Each photograph, lovingly displayed, carried the weight of cherished memories. Her minimalist lifestyle brought these items to life, letting them shine as reminders of her values, joys, and aspirations. For those living alone, minimalism can be particularly empowering. It shifts the focus from external possessions to internal richness. The act of letting go, whether of objects, expectations, or past regrets, creates space for freedom and contentment. Mrs. Patel's journey reminds us that a minimalist life is not about loss, but about gaining clarity, lightness, and a deeper connection to the present moment. Minimalism also serves as a bridge to deeper mindfulness. By living intentionally, elders can cultivate an awareness of what truly matters in their lives. Mrs. Patel found that her simplified surroundings brought her closer to her inner self, fostering a sense of balance and harmony. Her minimalist home became a reflection of her inner clarity, showing that simplicity is not just about the absence of excess, but about the presence of what holds meaning. Ultimately, the beauty of minimalism lies in its ability to free us from the weight of what no longer serves us. It creates a space where life can be appreciated for its essence, unencumbered by distractions. For Mrs. Patel, her journey into minimalism was not about scarcity, but about abundance. The abundance of peace, freedom, and self-discovery that comes from living with intention and purpose. Part 4. Finding companionship in nature. Nature has always been a faithful companion, offering wisdom without words. For elders living alone, the natural world becomes a source of comfort and connection. Buddhist teachings celebrate nature as a mirror of life's impermanence and resilience. Mr. Harris, a retired mechanic, found a deep sense of belonging during his daily walks in a nearby forest. He marveled at the resilience of the towering trees and the gentle flow of a bubbling stream. These moments reminded him that, like nature, he too could endure and adapt. Spending time in nature fosters a sense of unity with all living things. The rustling of leaves in the breeze, the way sunlight filters through branches, or the rhythmic sounds of water flowing over stones. Each of these simple experiences can feel profoundly healing. Nature, with its cycles of growth and decay, serves as a gentle teacher, reminding us of the impermanence of life and the beauty found in its ever-changing forms. For For Mr. Harris, these daily walks became more than just a routine, they became a source of spiritual connection. He found himself observing the strength of ancient trees, their roots deeply anchored in the earth, yet flexible enough to sway with the wind. This resilience mirrored his own journey, reminding him that even in solitude, he could stand tall and adapt to life's challenges. The natural world also offers a sense of timeless companionship. The gentle chirping of birds, the scent of blooming flowers, or the sight of a clear blue sky can evoke a feeling of unity with the world. Nature doesn't judge or demand, it simply exists, offering its presence freely. For elders, this connection can be deeply reassuring, dissolving feelings of loneliness and fostering a sense of belonging. Beyond these sensory joys, nature provides lessons of resilience and acceptance. Mr. Harris often paused to watch the cycles of life unfold around him, the way fallen leaves decompose to nourish the soil, or how a river carved its path through rocks over time, reminded him of the inevitable changes in life. These lessons deepened his sense of connection and encouraged him to embrace impermanence as part of the journey. Buddhist teachings often refer to nature as a silent guide, encouraging mindfulness and acceptance. By immersing ourselves in the natural world, we learn to appreciate the present moment and find solace in its quiet beauty. The interconnectedness of all living things becomes evident from the smallest blade of grass to the vastness of the sky. For those living alone, nature becomes a constant companion, reminding us of our place within the intricate web of existence. For Mr. Harris, his time in nature not only eased his solitude but also became a source of inspiration. He began sketching scenes from his walks, capturing the essence of the trees, rivers, and skies he encountered. These sketches became a way for him to share the beauty he experienced with others, reinforcing his sense of connection to the world. Through his art, he found another layer of companionship, one that bridged his inner reflections with the outer world. Nature, with its timeless rhythms and quiet wisdom, offers elders living alone a sanctuary of peace and renewal. It teaches us to be present, to endure, and to adapt. In its embrace, we discover that we are never truly alone. We are part of something far greater, a tapestry of life that binds us all together. Living alone does not mean a loss of purpose, but rather a chance to realign with one's true desires. For Mrs. Nguyen, her solitude became a time of quiet exploration. She ventured beyond painting, experimenting with other forms of art like pottery and calligraphy, each medium opening a door to deeper self-expression. This creative process became a way for her to leave behind the hurried pace of her nursing career and reconnect with a slower, more deliberate rhythm of life. Buddhist teachings encourage finding purpose in the small, meaningful actions of daily life. For elders, this can mean cultivating hobbies, contributing to their community, or simply extending kindness to themselves. Each moment becomes an opportunity to infuse life with intention. Mrs. Nguyen's newfound dedication to art was not about creating masterpieces, but about embracing the joy and fulfillment that came from the act of creation itself. Solitude also offers a rare chance to contribute to the world in subtle but profound ways. Whether it's writing letters to loved ones, planting a garden, or simply sharing a smile with a stranger, purpose doesn't always require grand gestures. It is found in the authenticity of how we live each day. For Mrs. Nguyen, her painted lotus flowers became gifts to neighbors and friends, spreading beauty and warmth within her community. Mrs. Nguyen also found purpose in reflecting on the legacy she wanted to leave behind. She began documenting her life's lessons in a series of journals, hoping to inspire her grandchildren and future generations. Each page she wrote was filled with wisdom, compassion, and encouragement for those who would come after her. This act of sharing her experiences and values became a source of deep fulfillment, reinforcing the idea that purpose is not confined to the present, but extends into the future through the lives we touch. Purpose in solitude is ultimately about transformation. It's about evolving into the person we were always meant to be, one who acts with compassion, mindfulness, and a sense of connection to the world. Each day is a blank canvas, waiting to be filled with acts of kindness, creativity, and gratitude. In this way, living alone becomes not an ending, but a new chapter of growth and fulfillment. Buddhist philosophy teaches us that purpose is not defined by grand achievements, but by the quiet, consistent efforts we make to live with integrity and awareness. Mrs. Nguyen's story illustrates how solitude can become a space for profound self-discovery and contribution, proving that even in isolation, we can find ways to connect and create meaning. Part 5. Redefining purpose in solitude. Solitude offers the unique opportunity to redefine purpose. In Buddhist philosophy, purpose is not about external roles, but the quality of our actions and intentions. Living alone allows elders to explore new passions and rediscover old ones. Mrs. Nguyen, a retired nurse, reignited her love for painting after decades of neglecting her art. Her canvases, filled with vibrant depictions of lotus flowers, became symbols of her journey toward inner peace. Each brushstroke was a meditation, a reminder of her creative spirit. As we draw this journey to a close, take a moment to reflect on what we've explored together. Living alone as an elder is not a story of loss, but one of rediscovery. It is an opportunity to reconnect with the essence of life, to find strength in simplicity, purpose in solitude, and companionship in unexpected places. Through the teachings of Zen and Buddhism, we see how silence can heal, how nature can teach, and how the smallest moments can hold the greatest meaning. Think of Mr. Harris, who found timeless companionship in the gentle rhythms of the forest, or Mrs. Nguyen, who rediscovered purpose through her art, leaving a legacy of beauty and love. Their stories remind us that solitude is not about being alone. It's about being fully present with ourselves and the world around us. Let this video be a reminder that solitude is a gift, a chance to uncover the treasures within. As you go forward, carry the wisdom of these teachings with you. Whether you seek peace, strength, or inspiration, know that it is all within your reach. If you found this journey meaningful, I invite you to share it with others who may need these messages. Subscribe to Buddhist Wisdom Daily for more content that illuminates the path to inner peace and understanding. Let us continue to walk this journey together, finding light in the quiet corners of life. Thank you for joining us, and may you find joy and wisdom in every step of your path.